Okay, we're talking to Shad, the other partner in Smokey D's, and I was just asking because we're going to start with him with the chicken on the turn-in. So go back to where we were 90 seconds ago with the chicken. Because this is a strained one here, where it's a no garnish event.
Yep, no garnish rule, and typically the leaf lettuce and the parsley helps raise the meats up a little bit, and just essentially it acts almost like a picture frame.
Right.
You know, you get a nice little bit of green around the outside, and it just highlights that meat. But with no garnish, you end up with just a white box, and to try to get those few pieces, what I'm going to do that's a little different that I normally don't is I'm going to actually pull down some of my chicken and toss it with a little bit of sauce and stuff, and put a nice little bed of pulled chicken down first,
right,
and then raise up those thighs, and try to give it a little bit different presentation, because I mean it's strictly based on the meat, and you want that meat to look the best you can. Sure,
it's just like at the restaurant Smokey D's. I mean, you don't just throw it on the plate.
Right.
You know,
right.
Even though you got a white plate or whatever it is that your color you're using.
Yeah, you gotta try to make it look the best that you can.
Yeah, and that's the old rule in restaurants, that the eye eats first.
Oh, definitely.
And okay, so food background. Tell me about your food background.
Well, I've actually got quite an extensive food background. I went to culinary school right out of high school. I went to Western Culinary Institute in Portland, Oregon, at the age of 18, and you know, I started in restaurants at the age of 14. You know, and I'm going to be 39 in November, so I've been doing this for quite some time. After culinary school, I traveled around, working a couple large casinos and some other golf clubs and country clubs around the United States, and eventually came back home. And then I was the executive chef at the Hotel Pattee in Perry. Prior to it closing, I think that was, I want to say 2006. Yeah, the winter of 2006, I believe. And when it closed, Darren, who I'd met, you know, several years before on the barbecue circuit, contacted me because they were looking for a place to start up their business. And we'd both been doing some catering and some vending at barbecue contests and stuff, and he asked what I was doing, and I said that I was probably going to try to do something on my own. And you know, after talking a little bit, we decided that we'd be stronger together than we were against each other.
Right. And
you know, we just continued negotiations and talks, and he had found a location already, and so that we opened up number 1. And 6 months later, we opened up number 2.
So you and Angie were involved right off the bat.
Yep.
And we're going to meet Angie, but this is the convoluted thing we've got going here this weekend. We've got Darren and Sherry, who are Smokey D's barbecue team, as far as the competition circuit is concerned.
Yes.
And then they have partner owners in Shad and Angie.
Yep.
And Shad and Angie sometimes compete as a team.
Well, normally we do compete as a team. My team is a boy and his barbecue.
Yeah. And
in the last couple years, she's really come on board and really been a strong partner with that. Prior to Angie coming on, it was my dad and my father-in-law that made up our team.
Right.
And but then Angie competes as girls a queuing on occasion. You know, normally just to keep me in check.
Right.
She's normally gunning for me, if anything.
And does she knock you off once in a while?
You know, it's that's a funny.
I think that's a yes.
Yeah, that's a funny story, because the first time out, she beat me in every category.
Oh,
and
no!
Yeah, it was a little painful.
Oh no!
So, you know, she does really good. We have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. So I was saying to the boys, as Darren calls them, it's absolutely amazing that one barbecue restaurant would produce 4 competition teams. It's tough enough producing one, but you guys got enough talent spreading around.
Well, we take our barbecue very seriously, you know, and you know, you see a lot of teams that they'll have some success on the circuit, and then they go and open up a restaurant, and then they don't compete anymore, you know, because the restaurant consumes them. You know, we've been fortunate enough, and we also think it's important enough for us to continue to compete, because we got to keep that edge.
Keep it sharp.
And, yep, and always looking to put out the best product possible, and we try to put that competition thinking into what we're producing at the restaurant.
Right. And as I was saying to the boys, you know, when it comes to the rain and whatnot, this is much like catering. Adversity is thrown at you at any minute.
Right.
You think you're going to roll up and your meat's just going to go right into the party, and next thing you know, you can't roll up. You got to carry. You got to do up steps.
Yeah, you have to be willing and able to adjust to every situation. I mean, we end up packing a little heavier than we probably should, because we have to be ready for everything.
Right.
Because you don't want to get stuck in the middle of a storm or something and not have the sides for your easy up, or not have a raincoat, or not have a fan because it's too hot. You know, so you end up bringing, you know, everything but the kitchen sink.
Right. I asked the boys, I said, if they beat the bosses, then are they still going to have a job on Monday? And
no, they will. We're gonna. We'll increase the workload, because obviously they can do more if they beat us. So
if they're so good, they can take on more work.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly it. As I'm getting a stare.
One way or the other, they're going to get whipped if they beat the bosses. So. Well, it's going to be fun to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun when we're all able to go to a contest.
Yeah. Is this the most you've ever cooked at 4 teams? Is this?
Yeah. There was one last year that all 4 of us were at, I believe. Yeah, 4's the most.
4's the most.
Yeah.
It's quite a deal. Hey, thanks, Shad.
All right, thank you.
Dad, I'm 56.